So RAUBAY is a company that I've worked with in the past. If you're new to the channel, hello, my name is Squid, and today we're going to be talking about the same exact company because they released two versions of a new product that I'm going to cover, and one in this video and one in the future. So subscribe to their channel if you want to check out the second version of the product that we're going to be talking about today. But I want to lay some groundwork before we talk about the actual product today. And that is the fact that, like I said before, I've covered two of their products in the past. They're a fantastic company, not only to work with as a content creator who's reviewing products, but they also have products that are going to facilitate you as a content creator or somebody who's doing videography, photography, maybe you're live streaming or something like that, or just recording videos like this for YouTube. Whatever you're doing, they're going to have potentially a product for you for your needs. And price to performance wise, yes, there are going to be more expensive versions and more expensive ones from other companies, but they're bringing it down to our level to be more affordable, in my personal opinion, for those who are going to use this gear for years to come. And that's very important because everything that's man-made is not perfect, but when you're picking up gear to be able to be important components for your content creation needs, you need to find gear that's going to end up lasting you. And when I covered their backdrop in that video review, I'll leave both of the reviews I've done about their products in the description. But when I covered that backdrop, I've still been using it ever since then. I've used it for multiple videos, for B-roll, for thumbnails, for the channel, when I'm taking pictures of products and stuff like that, social media posts. A fantastic product. Like I said, I use it to this day. It's awesome. And again, none of these videos have been sponsored. None of them have been paid for. They don't see the videos before it goes live or anything like that. It's just when a company makes fantastic products and you're constantly using them and for the foreseeable future, there's nothing wrong with giving a company praise where it's due. And that's what I think is very important when it comes to talking to you guys about these products. Now, their magic arm, I still use it for my COB cob light as my key light that's looking at me. It's been working pretty fine. Never had a problem or issue since I had the product. And all I do is slightly turn it when I need to go over and live stream or edit or anything like that. Fantastic product. Like I said, I kind of wish I did have two of them so I could have one as a microphone boom arm. So what we're going to be talking about today is actually an addition to something that would be very versatile for not only the magic arm to be able to combo this with, but maybe potentially the backdrop if you're live streaming and you need that gray or blue screen or whatever to eliminate your background. And what we're going to be talking about today is something that they recently just came out with, which is the top mount for cameras. And this version is going to be the CM01. There is a CM02 that I will be doing a future video on. So definitely stick around for that. If you are new to the channel, subscribe and you'll see that video when it comes out. But right now we're going to be talking about, like I said, that version of the top monitor mount for cameras, webcams, and it also has two cold shoe mounts that you can apply maybe a little pocket light, and it's going to have to be a small one because again, everything that's man-made is not perfect, so you can't use one of those big ones or wherever because it's just going to get in the way of your camera and just the way of just everything. It's not necessary. And in my personal opinion, the only thing I probably would attach to this is probably potentially a microphone like this to be able to maybe talk straight into the microphone. But again, I probably would not even just use a cold shoe mount. I don't know, unless the base was a little bit wider to comfortably put a microphone in the cold shoe mount, then yeah, I would say yes, go ahead and do that. But that's going to be like that first little con of this thing is like, it's nice to have the cold shoe mounts, but realistically, I don't know what's going to be able to be attached to them, because the front lip of it is not wide enough. So it's going to be a little awkward, and depending on your camera and what lens you're using, it might just get in the way of things. That's what I've experienced with trying to attach a microphone to it. But you know, maybe there's somebody out there who's a little bit more creative than I am to be able to angle it away, and depending on the type of microphone you're using and all that stuff, maybe it will work out for you. But in me looking at it visually and testing and shoot and setting up for B-roll and everything, it didn't seem to be, I would say, as intuitive as I would have hoped. That's just, again, me. That's a first con, I would say. Other than that, there's really no cons because yes, this thing does feel a little bit cheap in hand, but it's kind of like the magic arm that I was talking about in that video with the components being plasticky and a little bit cheap. It's made to where it's not going to put too much weight on your monitor. And that's important, especially since you're already going to be attaching, depending on what camera you use. In my case, I use the Alpha 6100, and whatever type of lens and stuff you're going to be putting on there. I would suggest getting a small lens, maybe the Yongnuo 16 or 11 millimeter lens. Those are both lightweight lenses. They're pretty small to sit on the front of the camera. They're pretty, I would say, in similar in size of the lens that you'll see in the B-roll, which is the Sigma 30 millimeter lens f1.4. The Yongnuo 11 and 16 millimeter lenses are f1.8. So you're still going to get a great low light performance out of the lens. And then depending on, like I said, the camera that you're going to be using, especially if you have a flip up screen like the Alpha 6100, this is going to be a perfect setup for those people who have that. If you have a flip out screen, it's going to be good. But then depending on if you're going to use those Koshu mounts, then your actual flip out screen might get blocked depending on which side that you put whatever attachment you are going to put on there. And again, I would suggest not putting a pocket light or anything on it, maybe finding another way to mount a light or something like that, maybe their magic arm or some other device or something like that, because again, it's just going to get in the way of looking at your camera or anything like that. Now, the actual device is compatible with curved monitors. It's compatible with any other monitors. I'll put the specifications on screen so you'll know the I would say sizing and what it's compatible with as far as thickness of monitors and stuff. But from what I've seen, and I have gaming monitors, that's obviously what I use and everything, and the monitor I test seem to work perfectly fine. This actually contours to the thickness as well as curved monitors. I don't have a curved monitor, so I can't show you that aspect, but based off of the marketing material and the pictures and stuff that I have seen, it works fairly fine with those. Now, the clamping mechanism on the back to make sure the back bracket is braced against the monitor, that can be a little finicky in my testing and trying to set it up or wherever. So you're going to have to make sure that you're clamping all that stuff before I potentially would put my camera on top of it. I would make sure that it's all set up just perfectly. And then if I needed to, I would adjust the ball head itself for the camera, where the camera sits on top of the ball head, in order to angle it a certain way if I needed to, after I made sure that the back plate is clamped against the back of the monitor and the little hook that hooks on the top of your monitor wherever is, securely snug right there. That's what I would do in my personal opinion, because setting up for B-roll and setting this up or wherever after you already have the camera attached can be a little finicky or wherever. And it's mostly like I don't want to drop my camera kind of thing. So I was a little nervous doing it because I've never worked with a device like this, and admittedly that's me, so I'm not going to really stock it up to being a con. I would just say, like I said, take precautions, set up the device before you actually attach your camera, and making sure that you have like a little coin. It will say in instruction manual that you will need to use a coin or something similar to screw the bottom of the bowl head to the actual mount itself in order to securely fasten it. And then if you need to make adjustments, obviously use that or wherever. Nothing's included or wherever to be able to do that. I guess you can say that's a con, but 9 times out of 10, you probably have some tool or something like that. It's not very thin. You could probably use like a quarter or something like that to tighten the ball head to the actual device itself. But other than that, it's pretty much a straightforward device. I don't really feel like I need to bog down you guys with more information and try to fluff up the video any further or anything like that, because again, it's a nice, really good, I would say cheap and inexpensive device that's going to be able to, like I said, just have your camera sitting on top of your monitor for your Zoom meetings, Discord meetings, maybe you're live streaming or wherever for OBS and everything like that. If you, I don't know, Microsoft Teams, if you're using still Skype or something like that, this is going to be perfectly fine. Just for note, I use APS-C cameras. I don't use full frames, so I don't have super big bulky lenses or anything like that. So again, I would say your results may vary. With all that being said, hopefully you guys continue to have a squidtastic day. Thank you, RAUBAY, for sending this out. It's a fantastic device. Again, in combination with one of their backdrops, maybe that's why I mentioned before, like the green screen, blue screen or something like that. And maybe, again, you're doing some kind of meeting or something and you use their magic arm wherever. It's just a nice little ecosystem to keep it all within RAUBAY and having fantastic devices going forward for your recordings or anything like that. I definitely could see people getting a use case scenario out of it. So if you can see yourself using the device, there will be a link in the description. It's going to be an affiliate link, of course. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Y'all take care. Have a squidtastic day. God bless you and yours, and deuces. And thank you so much, RAUBAY, for continuing to work here and support the channel. Again, this video is not sponsored or paid for, and they're not going to see the video before it goes live, but it's just always fantastic to see an email from RAUBAY saying, hey, you want to work together, because the company's awesome. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one.